Hello, friends that live within the internet. My name is John, and in this video, I will be showing you how you can configure CypressJs to work with Netlify. Yes, by the end of this video, you will learn how to configure your project so that when you push your code into Netlify, the Cypress test runner will run. If your tests fail, it will block the build, meaning your broken code won't break production. I'll also show you how you configure Cypress so that when the tests are running, the output of those tests will be recorded to video format and you can actually watch these videos being played in the Cypress dashboard. Yes, this is super cool, so if you like testing, this video is the one for you. Now, if you haven't come across one of my videos before, my name is John and I do weekly YouTube videos on web development, productivity, loads of cool stuff like that. So what I suggest, if you haven't already, is hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, then you're a numpty. Now, assuming that you have done that, let's go on and configure your project to work with CypressJs. We have been magically transported inside of my Visual Studio, and as you can see, I have a Next.js application running. Now, if you haven't come across my series before, this is episode 11 in my Jamstack series. If you want to get the project that you can see on screen right in front of you, you can download it from my GitHub below. So all the code I'm going to be doing today will be available through that repo link below. So as you can see, I need to open up my terminal. Now let's make sure that you can see it, because otherwise that would be super annoying. Now what we want to do is an npm install, and then we want to install a Cypress. And we also want to do a Netlify plugin, Cypress, and we want to do save-dev because we want it as a dev dependency. Now, off npm's going to do, talking to the repository, downloading all those packages. Let's catch up when this is downloaded. Success! We have 2 packages installed. Nice work, you legends out there. Now, what we're going to do is configure Netlify so that when Cypress fails, it will break the build. Now, if you're new to working with Netlify, then we can configure Netlify within your project using something called the netlify.toml. So if you've downloaded the link from the GitHub, you'll be able to see this Netlify toml. Now in here, as you can see, we have some instructions to tell Netlify how to build our project. We've also got one for the 404 page. If you haven't seen that video, it's a classic. Go back and watch it. But this redirect thing is working for our 404 redirects. So what we want to do now is set in a new command. So we want to tell the build environment, and then what we want to do is set a couple of variables. So we want to have Cypress, and then we want to do cache folder, and that should equal the /nude modules /Cypress binary. I think I spelled that right. Cypress binary. Perfect. Now we want to do a term, and our term should equals xterm. Very original. Now next we want to configure plugins. So we do this with a new command which is called plugins. So we want to say that our package that we want to configure is the one that we just installed, which is the Netlify plugin Cypress. And then we want to do some plugin inputs. So this is basically how we're going to configure Cypress to record our videos and then send it to the Cypress dashboard. So we need to do a plugin, and then this needs to be plugins.inputs. And then we're just going to do enabled equals true. And we want to do record equals true as well. Beautiful. And that is basically all we need to configure Netlify to work with Cypress. Before we continue, I should point out that you will also need a script within your package.json script section. So as you can see, I've created one myself. This is probably a bit different than the normal naming convention. However, right at the bottom, I've got this cute little script called Cypress, and it's just doing a Cypress run. So let's open a terminal now and see what happens when we load it. So if we just do an npm run Cypress, what you can see is off it goes. Now the first time it runs, you'll see some messages saying installing and running Cypress for the first time. However, eventually If everything's gone successfully, you should see this error message, can't run because no spec files were found. And this is what we're going to see. This basically means we haven't created a Cypress test file, so it's going to fall over. So what we want to do now is look in our project directory, and as you can see right here, after installing Cypress, we now have this directory that's magically been created. So in here I can just do integrations, and integration, no S, that's important. In here we need to create ourselves a nice cool test file. So I'm going to do a test on the home page. So the important thing is we call it spec. So the home page can be called whatever you want. Now within our test file, let's get rid of this here. We want to do a describe, and this is Cypress syntax. So we just want to do a home page. Now this is going to be a arrow function. In here we're going to do an it, and then we just want to do a loads, or it can be whatever you want to call it, doesn't make a difference. Now in here we want to use the Cypress helper, which is cy. So we want to do a visit, and I want to visit the home page, which is /. Now I just want to do a cy, and I want to do a get. So the test I'm going to do, I'm just going to test that the h1 exists. So get the h1 should, and then this should be a b.visible. Now if we open our terminal again, and then we just do an npm run Cypress, this should now run. Hopefully our test file should get picked up. Come on, there we go, test file picked up, beautiful. Running our test, fingers crossed, see what happens. Our test file has passed, everything's looking good. Now we can push this up to Netlify and see what happens. I have now made my changes, committed and pushed them. Netlify's picked up a new build, and look what's happened. Whoop, 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 whoop. We have got a production build which has gone through successfully. Okay, now let's actually see how that looks like. So if we click on master and we can scroll down in the deploy summary, what you'll see is we now have our Netlify plugin Cypress, and now it's actually displaying the test output. So as you can see that one test is running and it has passed successfully. Now you might be going, how did that happen? Let's roll down our deploy log. Roll, 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 roll. So as you can see, because we're doing something post deploy, the site has been published and then we're running our Netlify plugin. Now as you can see right from this little kiddie right here, Netlify has done something which is actually pretty cool, and it's swapped in our localhost 3000 for the testing deployed URL for us. And this is a super cool thing about this plugin, so you don't need to do extra config. As you can see right here, my web page has been running and loaded, my test has passed, and everything is looking good. Now as you can see, we have created a video. Now at the moment there's no way for us to really see this video, so our next step is to hook up the Cypress dashboard with Netlify so we can watch this video being played. Okay, so in order for your video to start playing within the Cypress dashboard, you're going to have to head over to Cypress.io, as you can see on the screen right in front of us. So what we want to do once you get to this screen is create a new account. So click on the sign up button. Now actually before I do that, one word of caution. So you can set this all up for absolutely free. However, as you can see, you're going to get a limited amount of test runs. So you can run 500 tests every month. After you hit that limit, it's going to fail your build and it's going to be an annoyance. So again, this is one of those try before you buys. I think it's pretty cool. It's worth knowing how to do it. So let's carry on. So let's go and sign up. Now you can sign up using your GitHub account. I've already created mine. You're probably gonna have to sell your soul, sign some T's and C's, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. So let's go into my project. So as you can see, I want to create my first project. So I'm just gonna call this my next app. And then app for my CI/CD providers, you can click on none because Netlify is not in this list. So now if we just click on this next step, what should happen is we should get a little bit of data. Now, as you can see right here, we've got this project ID. Now, remember when we set up our Cypress file a little while ago, there we go. If I minimize this one for us, you can see that we've got the project ID. So what we want to do is copy this one in here. Now open up my terminal, and I just want to do a git add, git commit amend, and then I just want to do a git push origin master. Now before I do that and click my push, what I want to do is grab this access key. So as you can see in step 2 here, it's saying that when we're running Cypress, if we pass in this key, it's magically going to hook everything up for us. Now obviously we want this to run within Netlify. So what we can do right here is we can go to our next. Now this is my application, I think. Perfect. So let's go from the start. Site overview, site settings. Clicking on site settings, we can go to the build and the deploy. In here we can go on environment. Now in here we've got some environment variables. As you can see, we've got this Cypress record key, and this is where you want to create a key yourself and type in the key that I've been given. So let's type in my key and click save. Now if I go back here and I do a git push origin master force push, off it goes and things are publishing. Now if I go back to my Netlify and then look at my site deploys, you can see things are publishing. Amazing. Now if I go over to my Cypress dashboard, if I start hitting refresh constantly, hopefully what should happen is in a minute this is going to start compiling my project. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it's working, oh yeah, it's working, yeah. Sorry about that, got carried away. Anyway, I hope you can see that we've done some super cool things within this video. Well, I think we have at least. So in this video, we've configured Cypress to work within Next.js. We've written ourselves a very basic test. It works. We've also configured our CI/CD pipeline. So using that Netlify toml file, we've configured Netlify to fail our build if our test fails. Now, at the moment, we're failing the build post-deploy. If you really want to be a stickler about it, you can fail the build pre-deploy. Just go to the Netlify and the Cypress docs to figure out how to do that. It's really super simple. In Netlify toml, you just use a different command. Now, when things do go wrong, it's really useful to be able to see a video of why the test has failed. And however, in Netlify, it's very hard just to see those videos on their own. This is why we hooked up the Cypress dashboard. And in the Cypress dashboard, we can then view the videos of the past and failed tests. So this makes it's going to be super simple for us to debug our code. Now there is a caveat, you will have to pay a little bit of money to get the Cypress dashboard running. However, I really think for the minimal amount of setup, this is super cool. Within like what, 15-20 minutes, we've got some really fancy pants CI/CD testing pipeline ready to roll. It is amazing. It still blows my mind a little bit. Anyway, what do you think of this video? Please leave your thoughts below. As always, I'm always super keen to hear what you think. Are you a big fan of Cypress? Do you like testing? If so, I could potentially do more videos on testing, but leave some comments below. Anyway, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Don't be a numbnuts, don't be a wally. Sign up today because I'd very much appreciate it. As always, I keep forgetting to say, I do a weekly newsletter, comes out every Sunday. Just got some interesting tech news, some things I found interesting that week, and updates on my content. You don't get spammed. I don't sell your data to, I don't know, the data people. I don't even, to be fair. Because I'm saying the data people kind of proves that I don't know where to sell your data to. So if you want to sign up to my newsletter, it's free. The link is below. Also, if you want to help me trick YouTube into sharing my videos to more people, hit that like button because you would be doing me an absolute solid. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, got some value out of it. Hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and happy coding.